great video.
It's super cool. What's up, everybody? Um, we're here today. We have a little draft going on here in the next 10 minutes. We're going to broadcast that live. We're going to speed it up so it doesn't just drag out. It's going to be our 12th redraft league to fill, which boosts our prize pots to $1,200 outside of the $450 that the leagues pay. We also have the next slow draft, which is 8 of 12 paid up. Once we're done here, we'll kick in action over there and get the rest of the people there and then fire that up, add another 100 to the bonus pot, and make it look real appealing. Right now, we have bonuses at 840, 240 for the wagering bonus, 120 for your runner-up bonus, the championship bonus, and the runner-up bonus. Yeah, big numbers. We're climbing. And every time we fill a league, you get $70 added to the championship bonus, 20 to the wagering bonus, and 10 to your runner-up bonus. We'll get more depth into that as the draft progresses when we have a little bit of time. For now, I want to say what's up to our producer and our co-host with a lot of these podcasts, Sarah. How you doing, Sarah?
What's up, everybody? Love being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. We love y'all.
And we got Mr. Live on the waiver wire himself, our own beloved Jimbo's Bimbos. If you know him, you love him. How you doing, Jimmy?
Doing pretty good. I had a long day at work today and wasn't on much all day. And then I saw we were getting close to filling something. Then I saw it was going to be a live draft again. And again, the Ballsville people speak. They like these live drafts, and we're going to bring them to you every chance we get. That's why we're here tonight.
So that said, we do have a few new people that are playing with us. As far as Ballsville's regulars go, we have Omar Billy, who's becoming a familiar name here. I think this is his 4th or 5th redraft. We have Todd Barber here present as always. Todd, we love you here. Our own Miss Sarah is going to be in this draft. And that's it for the regulars. Maybe our guys are a little bit tapped, but this is our 12th redraft, and this is our 203rd to 205th league. I haven't counted them in a while, but we're in that range. We have Galvin87 joining us. Welcome in. Griff Ellis, Zay Clayborough. We have my homeboy, who is going to love Ballsville as well. We have Marco, who I think has been here before. Bryson Klein. This one's going to kill. DSRX JTG, obviously. And Robert Call and Crimson Mac something. It's cut off right there. But a lot of new faces. Welcome in. Yeah. We're going to get this draft started for you.
Hey, Jimbo, I think we've got a little bit of news here that I'd love for you to share with us.
Oh, here we go. Look at this. We all didn't really know what to think about this, I think, in the beginning. It was like, oh, no, oh, my God, not another one. And then all of a sudden, we weren't seeing any action on the contract, weren't seeing any action with him showing up at camp. And then all of a sudden, this drops today that there's no charges. Charges have been dropped. So going to be interesting to see what drafts take place between now and opening season, see what his contract really ends up being. I think the Browns will take advantage of this and maybe not have to pay him so much. I think he'll definitely start getting drafted again. So if you all want this kid, better get out there and get him now because it looks like the price is going to go up.
Let's see how quickly Ballsville players start drafting him now.
Yeah, somebody was actually just bragging in, I think it was our last pod draft, number 13, Smoke. I think they said they got Quinshawn in round 12. So yeah. What a bargain that's going to be.
Yeah. So.
Sure.
Good news.
Go ahead.
So we have about 5-6 minutes to spare. Let's go ahead and show you something real quick. So if you're in these leagues, you can go to your pin messages. You're going to see a number of things. You're going to see our Discord. You're going to see our Ballsville Hub, which is a pool on Sleeper that we use to communicate and drop leagues. One of the other things you're going to see is a link to our website. This is hand built here. Custom images, custom everything. We have a lot of cool features. Another link to the Discord. Here's an image of Ballsville and what we represent, all these planets. they represent games. We have 5 games. We have the Dynasty game, the mini leagues, the big game, the redraft game that we're currently drafting for, and the triathlon game, a unique game, brainchild of some of our managers. The tools in the blog section. Blogs on the way. Tools are actually available. This is something that you can come and look at. They're free for now, but they will be locked behind a paywall eventually. And you'll see why, because they really are worth it. Let's take a look at these tools. So one of our own designed these. You can come to the site now. You can look at different things. The Joe Street Journal is going to be DFS content for your weekly DFS games. We're actually going to have a Ballsville DFS weekly contest, and it's going to translate to accumulated points for the end of the season. And it's going to have a big payout there. We have 6 players signed up. I'll probably jump in there to make 7. 3 more people, and we can adopt a 10-person, mathematical payout schedule that Joey has prepared. So come in here, check it out. You can see some of the document. Sticky's Tools, Connor's Corner is on its way. Come to Sticky Setup, enter your name. You can come check out the trade calculator that's personal to us. Player stock, player availability. And if you go to scoreboards, you can see competition for the leagues. That was a question. How can I see what the other leagues are doing? You can go and see, what their rosters are scoring on a weekly basis. It's probably going to help you with your wagering decisions. So go check that out. And when you're done there, hit the redraft page. Come look at all the beautiful imagery. See the updated ticker as the games fill up and that elevates. We're going to hug up right up to the start of the season. We'll continue to update open leagues for you. And then details on how the game is run. You play and win in your league. You have the option to wager, to risk your money that you get. If you make finals, you get $75. You can risk that, some of it, all of it, in pursuit of bigger payouts. And there's some math that we have for you, but I think we're kind of getting close to draft time, right, guys?
Yeah, about 3 more minutes, 4 more minutes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Jimmy, you said you had some Godwin news?
Yeah, a little bit of Godwin news today. They're talking about going ahead and putting him on. He was on the other pup. Now they're getting ready to put him on the other pup. And by doing that is going to mandate that he is out for 4 games. So it's looking and leaning towards them doing that. They're talking about doing that yet before the end of the week, if not by the end of next week, which will definitely put Godwin into a Game 5 return, Week 5 return. So a lot of the news that we've been bringing to you from Ballsville, especially from me, was kind of leaning that way from the get. So it's kind of leaning real strong now that Godwin will be out for 4 games of the regular season.
Whew. And who was the first person to be up on Ibuka? Our very own Jimmy.
Jimbo. And then I like what Chris put in today. He said Cynthia Freeland put on her little show that she's got Ibuka in the top 10 of wide receivers for the year.
Ooh, yeah. See, oh man, it's crazy to think that. What were we, like 2 months ago? Jimmy was saying Ibuka is going to breach 1,000 yards and push for that #1 receiver role in Tampa, and we all laughed because back then it was a spicy hot take, and so it kind of sounds like somebody knew what they were talking about here.
Hey,
One out of 100, a squirrel gets
hot
another now.
Throw enough at the wall and it'll stick, right?
That's it.
And let's not forget about Jimbo's hot take that I will never forget, which is that every single one of the wide receivers will break 1,000 yards. And I believe he said including Godwin, even with his missed time.
Yeah, even with Godwin missing time, I still think that the
Evans,
3 wide receivers.
Ibuka, and Godwin, right?
Well, no, I just said 3 wide receivers will have.
Okay, 3 of them. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't bet on it either.
McMillan's very capable of 1,000 yards without Godwin there, so I'm confident.
I mean, they got a good team.
We should be auto starting. It looks like we're missing Griff Ellis, my homeboy Marco. There's people on the sidelines that are willing to jump in.
I feel like Griff is in there somewhere. Sure.
You guys jump in these last redrafts for you guys that are new here. If you want to try to have a second bite at the apple, now's the time. We only have a few more drafts left. We're going to kind of, slow it up a little bit till we get these full. We got more behind it. If you guys, come through and fill these up, we'll drop more. But getting so close to the season, we want to be sure we're going to fill them. So we're kind of banking on watching what you guys want, what you're doing, and making adjustments. And we'll take it right up to the wire. But, jump in there and get these, because we could slow right up and decide that might be it. So
exactly. And for right now, we have myself. Sorry for cussing, Mr. Christopher. They are both paid up. We're both paid up, so we're going to jump into the next fast draft and be the number 1 and number 2 paid. Assuming he doesn't have to jump in here, Connor will be the number 3. He wants to get in one more. So 3 out of 12 to start off the next fast draft. That's pretty good. And we are here at the weekend, so we'll push this weekend and then kind of gauge where we're going to be at.
one other quick thing, you guys, unlike a lot of sleeper drafts you get in other leagues, a lot of guys say, well, we're going to sit in the VIP lounge. We're going to sit in the lobby and just kind of wait and see how this plays out. Trust me, if you see those leagues out there right now, they will fill. They're going to fill and you're going to draft. Anything you see on your board, we're not taking away, and it's not going to be a non-draft. We're going to draft those drafts that you see. So don't be afraid to pay ahead of time and get in there. Don't wait on the next guy, because those leagues will fill.
Ooh, okay, I just got to say that, like, Lamar falling to 1-4 and Bijan going first is pretty awesome. I just want to say that.
Well, we're up for another deep draft.
You gotta have some gnarlies to take Bijan 101.
I love it though.
Who knows if it's going to be the right choice or not? Griff made a statement, said if Chase gets injured, he's done in all his leagues for the year. I guess he has a lot of spot.
We were in that bracket ball pilot. We were doing that bracket ball pilot, and Scotty was saying if he was in the 101, he would have took Robinson in that bracket ball. But I don't know the difference between that.
Well, bracket ball's only 1 QB, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in one quarterback it's going to be Bijan or Chase, but
for sure, mostly Chase. But yeah,
I think a lot of Bijan's value is projection.
Well, they're also talking about expanding him throwing the football this year too. Look at that grouping of quarterbacks, bang, bang, bang in a row.
Hey, I haven't seen Jalen Hurts go that early in a while, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's nice that he gets that respect.
Back.
For sure.
I don't think I've seen that many back-to-back quarterbacks in the middle of round 1 either, which is going to make for some nice value on other positional players here coming up.
There's Mahomes getting a little respect too. That's going to make
Mahomes in the first round. Love it.
It looks like everybody's here too.
That 5 in a row right there probably gave somebody a little nervous. Plus, they're looking at the value of Mahomes with those other 5 already off. So
love it, and I like it. I mean, and Barkley falling all the way to 112. Wow, this is good. This is like more like last year's drafting.
So as the draft plays out, I was just telling these guys before we got started, the first 4 rounds are typically the same grouping of players, and then you start getting into who do you want to reach for, and then you get into your the nitty-gritty part of the draft. So we'll let this round play out for a second, but for those of you that are confused about the game, the way that it's played, we have it set up so that the leagues pay out $450. If you make finals after week 16, we're going to come in, we're going to announce the 2 of you, we're going to give you a $75 credit. You can keep that $75 and make sure you go home with something, or you can wager $25 to enter the wagering pot, which is eligible for the wagering bonus, which we just saw sits out now at what were we at, 240?
Yeah, it says on the bottom there. 840 on top, 240 second, 120.
Gotcha.
You got a ticker at the bottom there.
You can throw a coin, $25 in there, and still go home with 50 and get your dues back if you make the finals. You get a 1 out of 2 shot of winning your opponent in your league. If you do, you're going home with 300. All league winners will go home with 300 minimum. You don't have to do anything to be eligible for the championship bonus or the runner-up bonus. Those are passive bonuses. So anybody that wins their league right now with the 12 that we have drafted will have a 1 in 12 shot as a league winner to also win the $840 bonus. If you keep your $75 and stack that with that bonus, you're looking at $1,215 minimum without wagering, just for blowing the competition off in week 17 with the max points. Now, that's its own thing, passive bonuses. If you do decide to wager, you're looking at a 240 bonus. If everybody were to wager their $75, that's $150 coming out of 12 leagues. That creates an upside of $1,800. As that number comes down, you're going to have better odds. If you wager into the $75 pot, you'll have money at stake there, and you're only going up against the people that wagered into the $75 pot for that last 25 grouping. So you can have a payout there. You can have a payout for the people that wagered 50. You can have a payout for the people that wagered 25, who would also be the wager winner with the bonus. Assuming everybody wagered, you took everything out of the game, the championship, your league winnings, the bonus, and stacked it with the wagering bonus. You're looking at a max payout right now with 12 leagues of $3,255 in a perfect situation. As that number comes down, the odds get better that you're going to be the one to take home that prize. So that's how our game works. You get a guaranteed payout, you get a massive upside, and you maintain great odds. How great? Our last year, one of our big winners took home $1,600 from a $7 entry. His odds were 1 out of 10 to win his league, 1 out of 8 to win his division, and then 1 out of 12 to win the championship. Those were his odds.
I just have to say, we had an episode where, Alex, you showed and talked about what we all did or whatever, about what people took home last year and the difference between the people that wagered and didn't wager and the people that didn't wager that left, that would have, we saw their scores and they would have won if they had wagered against the person that actually won that wagered. I mean, it's so worth it to wager. I can't even.
You can actually go to the site right here. You can go to the Hall of Fame. There's always people that have, that regret that they didn't wager. This is last year's champions. We do have champions noted from years before, but none of them as noteworthy as last year. We expand every year. You can come here. You can see in this instance for our Dragons of Dynasty, which has a similar setup as the redraft leagues, the champion won $425 for winning the league and passive bonuses. But the wagering champ, because we had 20 people that wagered with their money, he won $1,175 without the championship bonus. Obviously won his league, but stacked that wagering money, and that's how he got to that big payout. Same thing here for you guys can go look at this yourself. It's the Hall of Fame right here on our nav bar. Definitely check out the site. I personally built it and pretty proud of it. It's got a lot of cool stuff.
Guys, something I'd like to add to what Alex just said. When I first came to Ballsville, I was in I would say close to 150 some leagues outside of Ballsville. Okay, I'd never seen anything like it. And once Alex kind of brought me into Ballsville and I became a player and I was watching it, I was so confused. I was like, man, I don't understand all this. But I finally just said, you know what? I let it play out, and I mingled with these guys. I started hanging. I started seeing how they run their leagues, how they draft their leagues, just the amount of work they were putting in, and they were always here, always answering questions. I finally said, you know what? Hell with it. I'm going to play these leagues because I'm going to learn how to do it, and if I got a good team, I'll be up in the mix. If I don't, I wouldn't be there anyway, so what do I got to lose? I couldn't figure out all this math, all this bonus, all this, how the wagering, so I just played. And at the end of the year, once things kind of slowed down and I got the opportunity to either wager or not wager with some of the leagues I was in, then it started kind of making sense. I could kind of see it now. I could see what they were talking about. Oh, okay, I get it. And so it took time. So from a guy that didn't understand it and finally just said, to hell with it, I'm going to play and see how it shakes out, trust me, it's worth taking a chance on it and doing it. And I guarantee you will fall in love with the system and not. I didn't want to go anywhere else and play other than Ballsville, but it
sounds like there was a trust built. That's what I say all the time is you can trust the person running it.
Yeah, it's a lot different than a lot of the leagues you see on Sleeper, guys. It's so well run, so well put together. The people are committed to you, unlike a lot of these other leagues. We're committed to each other. It's total transparency. We talk back and forth, and everybody says, "Well, what about collusion? You guys all know each other." You know what? Our competition level amongst even us managers and people at Ballsville on the back end, we are so competitive with one another. Trust me, there ain't no collusion. We are against.
We got more debates and boxing matches going on.
Yeah, it's really good, and I think for some of you new guys, just give it a chance. You know, play it.
We're set up.
And
we're set up to mitigate that kind of risk factor. The whole reason why Ballsville was conceived was because I got tired personally of all the collusion, all the sketchy stuff, scoring changes, rules. So a lot of the things that people do is they put stuff up on a doc, and what I used to do is I would copy that document, and then later on in the season, you can see that somebody edited it, and you go back and look, and you go, oh, well, now they just changed the payout rules, and now there's less people getting paid out. How does that happen? You know, so what we did is we put everything in writing. It's all like if you go to the redraft game, it's in images, so you can go and see the images, and they're permanent there. They're everywhere. You know, and to replace an image, you're gonna have to go back and replace it everywhere. So everything's laid out in front of you, full transparency. We let you know where the money's gonna go and how it all works. And we're here for you as managers. We help you with the game, and any kind of collusion trade that's going to upset a redraft game or tilt the scales. That's all mitigated by a group vote. You guys, we hold court. If there's an uproar, people are upset, we let both sides speak their mind. We come in, we hold court, and then we put it to a league vote. And we've only had 2 trades in our whole 5-year existence that were reversed. One of them, the guy had multiple accounts and ended up getting banned off Sleeper. And the other one, the guy backed down and collected his money, and that was that. We never saw him again. So obviously we made the right move reversing those 2, but yeah, it's at your discretion as league mates. So that's how it's set up.
Jumping up in there to round 2, just to make a comment, I'm surprised to see Neighbors in the middle of the second like that.
Yeah, people have taken those running backs early, as we see often.
Well, this
I
draft
was surprised to see him fall
kind
that far too. And Brian Thomas over there, even though I passed on him, but I have so many Brian Thomas shares. I'm trying to get my RB game going on here first.
And see, guys, that's another thing at Ballsville that may throw you off a little bit. If you get to drafting with us, you'll see a lot of our regulars do different things. Like you'll be in a draft with them and say, well, man, this guy's always done this, this, and this, and this. Well, now he's all of a sudden changing it up. Well, it's because a lot of us at Ballsville, we're in multiple leagues. So, you know, we tend to try to get different strategies to get us to the end at the wagering point. Is why we play more to up our odds. So, you know, that's why it's kind of an advantage sometimes if you join more leagues. So it does give you an opportunity to have a different strategy. So if you get one player like a Bucky Irving, you know, goes down for the year and he's out, and you drafted that way, well, your other drafts, you didn't have him. You took, you know, Harvey, or you took, you know, McCaffrey, and you changed it up a little bit, and you can structure your draft in a whole different way that keeps you in the playoff scene at the end, so you can still wager.
Yeah,
so we're past the first 48 players. Sarah, out of that first 4 rounds, do you see a player? Let's do a player that you're kind of taking all the time because of the value, and a player that you're just avoiding because you don't think they should be up there in the top 48.
For sure. In the top 4 rounds, I would say I think that I don't take T. Higgins in the first 3 rounds. I'm also of the unpopular opinion that he's should be as high as he is. I would not take him before Marvin Harris. I most definitely wouldn't take him before all these guys. I mean, Tyreek, Devontae, Evans, like no way. And a guy that I'm always taking that is like, I mean, honestly, these first 4 rounds is pretty solid to me. Like all these guys should be there in my opinion, other than T. And I can't think of anyone that stands out any more than others. You know, I think they all belong in this area. I am surprised to see that Bowers went as late as he did, but also we're all just kind of like playing to our strengths here. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because we have new players playing, so it's not like we could look and say, "Oh, that's Chief's life." Of course, he took so and so
Right.
here,
Yeah.
Totally.
Jimmy,
don't
you
know
got
the
somebody in the
strategy.
first 4 rounds that you like and don't like?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this because it's redraft. I think the pick on Rashid Rice is a wasted pick in a redraft with the suspension looming. So I think I would not have taken Rice just based on the suspension looming in a redraft. You could possibly lose 6 weeks and have another player that's going to produce where he's not. So to me, that's a bust pick in a redraft, not in a best ball, not in a dynasty, obviously, but in a redraft. To me, that's a bust pick with a suspension looming.
So one of the news blurbs today was that he's going to at least be eligible to play the first 4 games. So I think the way that it works now is that if he's eligible to play the first 4 games, if they give him a suspension, it's his call, right? So that he can decide if he wants to serve a suspension to begin or after the first 4 or something like that. I believe it's flexible for him.
Right.
Do you have any?
But to me, just that chance in a redraft of this level of fantasy, I'm going to pass on Ray Rice in a redraft at that pick.
If he's your second, maybe as a fourth.
Yeah, maybe a 6th. If he made it that far, he probably wouldn't. But I'm not wasting a 4th
receiver,
on Rice with the circumstances.
So what about so DJ Moore just went off the board? You're telling you think they should swap spots there? Like Moore should be in the 4th and Rice should be down at the 5th?
Absolutely. I mean that absolutely. That's a wide receiver
sure.
1. It's
Moore and Metcalf.
Yeah, it's a wide receiver 1. There's, and if you want to talk even other receivers that were taken, Adams, boom. I mean, Tet, boom. That is Tet right there. I can't quite see the fine print.
That is Tet,
yeah. And even Evans.
Evans for sure. God,
I mean, Evans is a home run over Rice in a redraft with the suspension looming. So, yeah, to me, you could have picked it. I would have passed on Rice here, just personally.
Here comes all the quarterbacks.
What about so Jimmy, in your opinion, going back to Sarah's pick for the overrated player in round 3, would you take Mike Evans or T. Higgins in this redraft?
Definitely taking Higgins at the 1 versus Higgins being a 2 versus the
You're taking Higgins over Evans?
I'm taking Evans over Higgins.
That's okay. Point. Just that's what he's asking. Yeah. Okay.
So
I want to make sure. I was going to say what?
I would take Evans and Adams both over Higgins.
So I like your call of Higgins, Sarah, because obviously he's a 2 on his team, and there's going to be tons of upside. But one of the players that I keep coming away with in draft is Chase Brown. That's a little high for me. Usually he's pushed back a little further, and I jump on him at the end of the 3rd, early 4th. And as far as busts go, that I don't like, somebody that I haven't taken at all. I did get him in rookie drafts, with like the third round, 4th round pick. But Puka Nacua, I think we just talked about Devontae Adams and the way he dominates targets. The health of Stafford, they re-signed Kyron, brought in another running back. Maybe they want to push it on the ground more. And, I don't know. I think Puka at the 2nd, there's everybody that goes beyond him I would rather have. So
wow,
he's my vote.
Okay. That's it. There's a lot of split thoughts on him right now.
I mean, I'm even starting to put JSN above Puka.
That's where I was going. I would say right there where Higgins is where I would value Puka.
It becomes a volume thing to me. And with Puka, with Adams there, I just think Adams plays more into the type of receiver that Stafford likes to throw to. Puka's kind of across the field, gets those, hard catches and lots of yards after the catch. Adams is that guy that Stafford can just throw it outside the numbers, sideline throws. Adams goes up and gets them. It just seems to me Adams is a better receiver mix with Stafford than Puka is. That's just my opinion.
So we got Mr. Omar Billy Neal here in the house. He's in this draft. We got our good friend, sorry for cussing, Cyborg coming in. What's up, guys? Operation Give Back TN. No idea who that is, but yeah, thanks for jumping
Good to see
in. We
everybody.
invited people. Go ahead.
Just said good to see everybody.
Yeah, we invited them to come on stage, and not everybody wants to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera all the time. But we'll start digging into their roster builds and looking and picking out our favorites and kind of what teams we like to start off with.
Okay, I got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
Oh, I just got sniped, Clay. God damn, he was the top of my. Oy vey. All right. Okay, I have a question for you guys. What do you guys think about Griff's strategy here? He has 1 wide receiver and 3 tight ends.
I was just looking.
Let's not forget.
No quarterbacks. No quarterbacks.
No quarterbacks. Let's not forget, Ballsville has no TEP ever. What do you guys think about this strategy he's got going on here?
I'm hoping he realizes that.
It's definitely, this looks like something Jimbo's would have done in a best ball. It looks real, up my alley. And have I done this in a redraft? Not to this extent. I would have stretched it to the 6th round without a quarterback, but I definitely would have been grabbing something in the 7th, especially in a super flex. But he's going to go down and try to maybe shoot for some lower hanging fruit down in the, get his value down there and try to get some higher value players. I think I would have took a wide receiver instead of Kelsey. I'm not afraid of the 2 tight ends he took there, but I think I would have passed on Kelsey there. In if I was taking a positional player and not a quarterback, it would have been a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's still value where he took the Porta in the 6th. I think that's a value pick.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that, but yeah, doubling back with Kelsey and
okay. So let's just look at what just went off the board in the case of Kelsey and those wide receivers right there. Okay, so you got 1 number 1 and 3 awesome number 2.
High-end number 2s. Yep.
Okay, so in my case, in my volume thinking, I'm extremely high on Williams right now. In fact, I'd go out on a limb and say I would have took all 4 of those wide receivers before Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
But Williams would have been my choice. Ridley would have been my second.
With no tight end premium and already 2 tight ends, I 100% agree.
I would
no
not have
doubt.
passed. I would not have passed up those 4 wide receivers and even Deontay Smith just to keep the point going. And we're not ragging by any means, okay? It's your team
if he comes up and wins, I can't say anything, right?
No, I get it. It'd be interesting to see what value he ends up at quarterback in a super flex. And there is plenty of value still to come with the quarterbacks that are available. So he's just taking he's taking a risk. Again, I'm not afraid of the risk he was taking. The Kelsey pick is the only one, and I would go back up to the board, and if he's hung on tight ends, once this falls down, Hawkinson was already gone. So
Hawk was way gone.
Yeah. So I mean, he's right there, tight end price, but I still think value wise, I think I would have took a wide receiver instead of a tight end.
At first glance, I like the way Marco built his team. He waited on quarterback. He got Jared Goff and Justin Fields still. I saw something that had Justin Fields' metrics and his efficiency, and it showed an improvement every year. So it's a guy that's learning the game, and maybe he takes a step forward. And Jared Goff, kind of plateaus and instead kind of picks up where he left off last year, which still delivered some wins. But to start off with A-Chain in the 2nd, he's a guy that's moved up my boards. I like him. So here's my hot take. I like A-Chain and McCaffrey better than Gibbs. I think they finished the year better than Gibbs.
If McCaffrey,
that is a hot take if I ever heard one.
Yeah. So my reason behind that is not even a David Montgomery thing. It's the fact that McCaffrey and A-Chain, with the loss of Jonnu, we know A-Chain's going to get a little bit more of that middle of the field stuff. Christian McCaffrey, there's no weapons in the wide receiving core. He's going to come out the gate hot. I heard he hit a top speed of 25 miles per hour in practice today. Yeah, outrageous. So if the guy's got it and he's got burst and he's out to prove something, and then we switch over to the Lions, and the Lions are an offense that have been nothing but efficient, high octane. We know what Dan Campbell likes to do. He gets away with cheating with fourth downs, and these Ben Johnson plays that happen to work out. So what if they try to do it again and it can't really mimic the system? And then you get a flat tire and things start falling off. I just see a lot of ways for him not to reach that ceiling that he's being drafted at right now.
Who was the other one you said other than McCaffrey you would have took before Gibbs?
A-Chain.
Okay.
Which I love A-Chain. I don't know if he's going to get more than Gibbs, but I love
Well,
him.
I would go ahead and agree with him just based on the volume and who's behind him, okay? Montgomery steals so much away from Gibbs. I'm going to go ahead and back the A-Chan pick. Gibbs tends to stay a little more healthy than A-Chan, so got to kind of watch that part of it. The McCaffrey thing, I'm 100% behind him with the Gibbs thing, only because Montgomery's there, and I just look at the schedule. I look at the offensive coordinator change, all the changes in Detroit, plus their schedule is really, really tough. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Alex side on this and probably say I would probably take McCaffrey, but Gibbs is such a hard thing. You see him go so high, everybody sees a chance to grab Gibbs, so they do it.
Look, if CMC stays healthy, there's no doubt in my mind he will surpass Gibbs in fantasy points. I think the problem is that nobody believes anymore that he's going to stay healthy because he only had that 1 year. So I totally CMC, in my opinion, is way above in my mind than Gibbs, but he's older and he can't stay out of injuries. So, I mean, if he's healthy, I totally agree.
There was nobody in the league that wanted to come on with us?
No, I don't think so. That's fine.
No, that's
we have people on chat, so.
I mean, that's kind of unique. I mean, you've never done that before, have you, Alex?
Maybe once a long time
ago. We
did
initially, back in the day, like I want to say it was last year. It might have been earlier in this off season, but we did have.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was last year. We did have like an open, hey, if you guys want to come on. That's how we got to meet Todd Barber the first time. A lot of people came on for the first time through these fast drafts, and so what we like to do is we'll pick apart your draft, and then you can come in here and kind of defend your takes and what your strategy is and stuff. It's
cool. I'd love for Griff to come in here and talk to us about his strategy. Now, he's in the chat right now.
Is he?
He is.
I'll see what I'm saying.
He was just bummed out about having to auto those last two.
Oh, he got autoed right there?
Yeah, he got autoed on Addison.
Not a damn bad auto.
Maybe Ward too.
It ain't a bad auto. He's getting
he needed both those positions.
He's going to get the offensive player of the year, so he's straight there.
Who's that for you, Cam?
Yeah, that's the offensive player of the year right there.
I remember Jimmy took Cam Ward in one of his shenanigans in the mini leagues. They're only $4 entries.
Damn right.
Cam Ward on the pod. I think it was like the 110.
Yep. I have no problem with that. And that's back when I went to Scotty's house. I forget what it was for. We went over there for a night, and Kenny was there and stuff. We were talking. We were watching the Washington Philly game, and Scott's telling me, Ward's really good, this and that and the other thing. But Levis is still going to start. They're going to work Ward in. I said,
I remember Scott thought Levis was going to start.
Yeah, me and him had a pump sub bet on that, I think, he said Levis would play at least start 3 games before Ward came in.
So let's go and we're in round 10. Let's see if we can.
Look at these teams. I like my team.
If this would work, what's happening? Technology. I can't get off the menu, or else it'll
Griff
switch.
says he's drafting and driving. I think that maybe he's not meaning to have the strategy.
So drafting from the 112, we have Crimson Machine, starting quarterback Bo Nix, and Dak Prescott at the Superflex. He's got Saquon Barkley, Omarion Hampton, who he got at the 4-1. He's been going in the 3rd round. I think that's a pretty good value considering the circumstances. Isaiah Pacheco as his RB3. At wide receiver, he has Monroe St. Brown, Cortland Sutton, Romo Dunze, who I think is going to be one of those league winners this year,
Mhm.
Josh Downs as his wide receiver 4, and he's got Colston Loveland at tight end. Opinions, Sarah?
I'm never. I mean, look. Let me just take my Bryce real quick. I really, really like his team. You know how I have felt for a while. I've said it a million times. I think Najee is going to be probably like a 70-30 over Hampton, almost for the entire season, if not the entire season. I think Hampton will take over eventually, but I think that I'm not starting any rookies in a redraft as my top starting players as backups only. So I never do that. And same goes for Loveland. I think he could very well have an amazing year, though, but he's a rookie, and I'm probably not taking him as my first tight end. So, but that's just me. That's just the way that I work. It does not mean that it's not, I mean, I'll take Genty, I'll take, Tet and Travis Hunter, and those are about the only 3 rookies this year I'll take as like a starter for me. So that's just
Really?
me.
Travis
But
Hunter,
I really like his team. I really like his picks,
Okay, Jimmy, you're up. We have Robert Kelly at the 11th spot, starting quarterback Kyler Murray with Tua Tagovailoa at the Superflex. Running backs are DeAndre Swift, Caleb Johnson, and my guy Jordan Mason, who we got in the 10th round. Receivers are Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, 2 top-tier receivers, Marvin Harrison, Jalen Waddle. Oh, and I missed Brian Robinson there as his running back. Running back 4. I'm going to say running back 4. I like Mason that much. No tight end. Jimmy, what do you think of this build?
Can you drop that down so I can see that his team of what was taken before him and after him?
Yeah, totally.
What I love the quarterback play with Murray. I'm okay with a Tua pick. Where I was a little concerned is what was taken. What do you have for options for running back at this point that he could have done differently? And I think I'm okay with the Swift pick. I'm okay with that. I think I'm taking Pollard. I think I'm taking Pollard before Johnson. I think, and then Harvey was the only other one. And I'm okay with that Johnson pick, but I think Pollard I would have taken before Johnson.
That's okay something that makes sense.
Just because Pollard's going to get the volume, we're really not sure what's going to happen with the Johnson Warren backfield at this point. And we're talking about a rookie. We're talking about a redraft. So I'm going with the vet in this point versus Johnson because he's unproven. I like everything else he's done along the way. He's solid, especially stacking Waddle with Tua. That's a good deal. I'm okay. We can maybe say that Brian Robinson makes up for that because he might like Johnson. I get that. But there again, the value is even more in his favor by passing on Robinson. Again, he could have picked up Jones and been able to stack the Mason pick. So he could have went, instead of Robinson, he could have grabbed Jones and then turned right back around where he took Mason and handcuffed his running back and had Aaron Jones and Mason. That would have been a way better pick in my point to have Aaron Jones and Mason on my team versus Robinson.
So it looks like at the beginning of the season, he's going to be relying on DeAndre Swift and Brian Robinson until he sees what kind of role Jordan Mason
right.
Caleb has.
But I'd much rather been relying on Aaron Jones and having Mason also.
Yeah.
Versus the Robinson pick for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones had a camp highlight where he caught a freaking dime pass from J.J. McCarthy, and it was the first time that I kind of was like, okay, I see what all the buzz is about with McCarthy.
It's not a bad team. He's got a good team going. It's just I'm big into handcuff. Everybody says I don't handcuff because of the way I do it, but I call handcuffing having the backup. So if a guy gets hurt or he's having a good run, and then I can guarantee myself having
that is a handcuff. That's what a handcuff is. You're
but
talking about stacks.
They were
saying that's not a stack.
A handcuff is when you got the quarterback and the wide receiver.
No, that's a stack. That's a stack.
I call it a cuff.
No, you're right. So when you have, go ahead.
I'll go ahead and do this team, Dersijic or whatever. I don't know. Mahomes at the 110, I thought was a little bit of a reach. It kind of set the tone for his draft. It came back around and picked Puka, who was, we just talked about was my choice for bust in the first 4 rounds. And then went into T. Higgins in the third, which was Sarah's bust for the first rounds. But I think DJ Moore is a great value on the board. I like the value on Njoku. Caleb Williams is somebody that I think if he can get it together, he has a paved road for success there in Chicago. We just talked about Ben Johnson. We're all relying on that to elevate his game. If you're picking Caleb Williams, that's what you're kind of hoping for, all the pieces to come together. It hasn't been positive out of camp, but that's not the end-all, be-all. When the lights are on, that's what's going to matter. You took Tajay Spears to go with Kamara and Montgomery. These are all 3 running backs that I find, Tajay's injured, right? Coming off of something. The guy that doesn't have ACLs. So I think all 3 of these running backs come with risk. I have a firm belief that Kamara's 2025 year, if he doesn't get traded, is going to involve him tapping out with any little injury because the Saints are going to be going anywhere. So I think his hope for success is going to be a trade. But there's a lot of upside. He's got his quarterback 3. But it looks like you just don't care about injuries because he got Stafford, you got Tajay Spears.
I like his stacking program he's got going on there. He's got Moore and Williams. He's got Stafford and Puka. I think the only thing that I would call a misstep in this draft for him is the Spears pick. There's way better running backs still on the board that are not injured and will probably have way more playing time than Spears, especially in a redraft. Where again, I'd have to look at the board of what he took before and after, but the Spears pick is the only thing I see on here that's a misstep.
Well, we'll keep it moving so that we can get caught up with this, and then we'll go back to the draft board before it ends. We'll go back to Sarah and let Sarah talk about Mr. Bryce Klein here.
All right, let's see it.
You want me to read them off to you?
I can see here. I see Jordan Love, Jeremy Gibbs. Okay, so I was actually surprised that Jordan Love went before Purdy, even though I think they are almost equal like this year. I usually see Purdy go off the board before Jordan, but then the next round he grabbed Purdy, so it was kind of funny. So I was like, oh, okay. So we ended up with both back to back, but I was a little surprised to see Love go before Purdy, and I was surprised to see Love go before Dak. So it's not a big deal. I don't think it's that big of a difference. A lot of people are scared of Dak, and I don't, that's fine. I'm not a fan of Worthy being a 3rd wide receiver. I was surprised to see him go before Flowers, but he got both again. So it works out. To me, JSN, Flowers, and Tyreek are the starting 3, not Worthy. But I think Reed might end up in there, at some point too, once he shows what he can do. And then we got the running backs on his top 2 running backs. Fire. Awesome. Yeah. And then his backups, I'm like, hopefully you don't have to play them too much except for on those off weeks. Oh shit, someone took my pick. Crap.
Yeah, I think those running backs, Etienne and Warren, if you do have an injury to your top 2, you're taking them with the first 2 picks. And if you have an injury there, you're kind of going to be limping during that time. I think Etienne and Warren are both players that you can rely on to give you half of what the floor is for McCaffrey and Gibbs.
This is a team I would love to sit and talk about for a while, and I don't have the time to do it. But this dude's got a good team going. The one you're showing right now. If you can put it back down, I'd rather go up the board. I love his wide receivers. I love his running backs, even with the Etienne and the Warren. He's got Reed with the stack with Love. He's got Purdy, which is Mr. Consistency. I love where the value he got on those 3 wide receivers, Worthy, Flowers, and Reed, is awesome. Plus, he gets a stack out of the deal. What's his tight end he's got down there? But
you picked up Johnny.
Okay, so I like this team. I really, really like this team. He's hooking himself up with a possible third quarterback way down there if that happens, which he's reaching there for help. He's doing even one more reach just to guarantee if Russell Wilson don't make it, he's got another quarterback. But I like this football team. I am not afraid of ETN like a lot of people are, only because I know where their head coach's head's at after spending the time in Tampa, and I think he turns that running back group around. I think ETN's going to have a big year.
Good points. I disagree with Sarah on the Worthy pick. I think Worthy is a pretty good value right there, the 7th. I do like him over Flowers. Taking over Waddle. See, my problem there is if I think I could get Odunze in the next round, then I might wait. But he's a guy that I don't want to leave the draft without. And I think at the end of the season, we're going to look back and go, oh, man, Worthy got taken over Odunze. Waddle got taken over Odunze. He's one of those players that I think could move up in value and probably has a better chance to move up than down.
And see, with his draft, and I'm going to go ahead and say this, and everybody's going to say, well, that ain't what you normally do. I even like that Flowers pick there over Mbuka.
Okay.
Just because he's
that is news.
One, and I'm a big Flowers pick.
After all.
I like his value he got with Worthy and Flowers. He got great value there.
So, Jimmy, what do you think of Mr. Marco here? He's the one we talked about. He's got Goff and Fields as his quarterback 1-2. He just picked up Flacco in the later rounds to be the 3rd. Running backs, Achane and Kyren. Tyrone Tracy, Trey Benson, Braylon Allen, and Blake Corum. Receivers, he's got CeeDee Lamb, Mr. Rashee Rice in the 4th round. I know you don't like that one, but he backed it up with Devontae Smith, Jerry Jeudy, somebody I'm high on, Matt Golden, who is somebody else I'm high on, and Kyle Pitts at tight end, which
I can tell you right now he doesn't like that CD pick.
I like the whole team. I like the concept that he's got going on. I'm great with his top 3 picks other than Rice. I like the top 3 picks. I like what he did with Devontae Smith and Jeudy and Golden there. That's okay. Tracy, I probably would have checked up there, done a little something different at running back at that pick. I love the Kyle Pitts. Everybody is so down on Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to have a good year. I think Penix and him are going to hook up. So I look for that to be a good thing. What's the other running back just below Pitts? I can't see it with the ticker.
Trey Benson.
Yeah, that's a good pick. The Allen's a good pick. The Flacco security. Corum's backing up Williams up there. And I love that tight end down there for Tennessee. So I like this team outside of the Rice pick. Outside of Rice and Tracy.
I have so many different opinions than you, Jimmy, but that's what makes these shows so good. So.
I'm just a volume guy. To me, you can't score fantasy points unless a football player is on the field. So that's big to me. And then my next thing is for wide receivers, how many targets do they normally get? How many snaps are they on the football field? Those are all things I look at, because if you're not taking snaps, you can be the best rated player around. And if you're not on the football field week in and week out, and then you take a guy like Tracy that can't hang on to the football, what's the running backs that were taken just after him? I could comment further on Tracy, but Tracy can't hang on to the ball, and he's just not that proven yet. So in a redraft,
what do you mean he's not proven yet? I mean he did great last year when he was starting.
Okay, so now here's the whole thing I'm going to say there. I would have took Dobbins over him and Javonte Williams over him, both.
I'd take Dobbins, but not Javonte.
Yeah, I kind of cooled on Javonte.
I would have took Javonte. Look, the Javonte Williams thing was all a Peyton dislike. They didn't like each other. They didn't get along. You could see that on the sidelines. You could see that in any type of.
No, man. I don't know. When he blew his knee out 2 years ago, I saw that play, and you saw him.
Going to have a good.
You saw him before the week before. He had carried like half the defense on his back and kept on trucking because that was his signature.
Taking Tracy before
he had behind his run.
Taking Tracy before Charbonnet, I'll agree to that. But I still would have took Dobbins before Tracy.
Dobbins, I can get behind Dobbins because I think he's probably going to be the 1A in that offense. But Javonte, I've cooled a lot on him.
Well, I would have took Najee Harris. Najee was still on the board too. I'd have took Najee before.
Oh shit, he was. Oh, definitely.
Najee went way
There's
over
another
Harris.
thing to differ on. I think Najee is his value is at risk as well.
I don't.
I mean, look, I think when it comes to Najee, it's so split, and I love that too, because
they're
like
only keeping Najee out to. Okay, think about this. Okay,
okay, I'll finish
it's
later.
An eye injury with Najee. So all the sweat and everything getting in his eye, infection. That's why he's not practicing. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
What's the next team here? I got to go in like 10 minutes.
He's gone. Okay, Najee's going to run the ball.
You know I love Najee, Jimmy. I was just trying to say that it's cool that everyone's split in Ballsville about it, because it makes for good talks.
Okay, I'll take a couple minutes right here on Omar, and then we'll let Sarah do Mahomes.
Down on Najee. I don't get it, man. I love that.
We'll get back to that when Sarah leaves, because I got some stuff on Najee too. So Omar Billy got Jalen Hurts right here, give him his respect at the 1-7. Doubled back with Neighbors, who he knows is going to be a target hog. He took one of my favorite players, Chase Brown, as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As the RB11, his ADP was RB13 right after the combine. So he moved up a little bit. Above Kyron, that's a tough call. It can go either way. I kind of like Kyron, especially now with the renewed interest in that contract. Devontae Adams, it could be a target hog. And Kittle, who I think is going to be one of those league winners. Middle of the fifth round I would take him there. I'll take him there all day. I might take him in some instances. Yeah. He did get Trevor Lawrence on the way on the draft was headed towards the left, and he picked up Trevor Lawrence, and he got sniped right here at the 7-6, right before his last pick. Travis Hunter on the way back could have been his wide receiver 3 to pair up with Lawrence. Instead, he took Pollard as his RB2. And then he went safe with Jacoby Myers as his wide receiver 3, Pearsall at 4, and Shaheed at 5. Rodgers as his quarterback 3, who we know has a job to start the year at least. And he's been picking, Bigsby Tootin, Jakrowski Merritt, and Kyle Monangai. Those are all high upside players if they get an opportunity. And Dallas Goedert to back up George Kittle. So I see this as a very top-heavy team. Security at quarterback, Trevor Lawrence in the 6th round is pretty decent value. With Brian Thomas there, if he plays receiver, that's going to be 2 high-end weapons, a whole mess at running back. I think that has a lot of potential to elevate his roster. So I think it's got a pretty good shot. I think Kittle's going to be a difference maker all season long. So I dig it. I like this build. Anything on that?
I like the build also. I like it all the way down until I like all those running backs he took, the Tootin and the new guy there for Washington, which I can't pronounce, and neither can Sarah. We talked about that the other night.
Yeah, Jakrowski.
I love the Chicago running back there. I love Thornton. I think he's got those 3 dart throws there, which should actually pan out to be high upside guys. I think Tootin will see the field some. I think the running back there from Chicago will see the field some. So all in all, I love Shaheed pick. That's a good team.
Okay, let's move on real quick. But we got Sarah. We'll go to my homeboy. Go ahead and break this down, Sarah. Tell us what you think.
All right, I'm about to pick here. No, just let me know when it's my turn. Okay.
He's got. Go ahead. I'll read off his team.
So let's see here. Connor and Javonte, A-Rich, Phoenix. I think this is very similar to a team, to like teams that I have drafted in the past. He's got a few good studs. He's got some guys that like could be studs, but we're not sure of yet. And I kind of love that, because you could consider, he's got Warren, Tyler Warren is tight end 1, who could be a huge stud, right? He's got Ted. I like Ted a lot. He's got Genty. He's supposed to be, the stud, right? So he's got all these like high end rookies. And then he's also got like, a couple guys that could get injured, like Williams and Connor, but he's got Genty, right? So he could outscore whoever he gets as his backup. I like Burrow. I like Penix. Sorry, I said that again. Penix every time. I love Brandon Strange for a second. I always like having QJ in my back pocket. I actually and he got A Rich and Daniel Jones, so he's
Yeah,
backed up there. I really like this team as like this is one of those teams that can just sneak up and just take everybody out without anybody realizing it.
I agree wholeheartedly. Every pick that he's made after the Javonte Williams has tremendous upside. Forward aside, with the Quinshon Judkins, he's probably going to be the lead guy there. After all,
he got his little stack there with Pittman.
Quentin Johnson's one of my favorite sleepers. Everybody's like, is it Trey Harris or not? The Keenan Allen edition takes a hit, but I don't think Keenan has the juice. I think Quentin's going to be the long range guy. And when push comes to shove, when they're playing the Chiefs and other division rivals, they're going to have to air the ball out. Plenty of upside for QJ if he can hold on to the damn thing. Both quarterbacks for Colts, and then Milroe, who's one of my, if he gets an opportunity, he's going to make a difference. Love that pick. I think he's nailing it in the second.
Yeah, this is a really, really sneaky team.
If the Chargers didn't have faith in Johnson, they would have never got rid of Palmer. So that tells you something about Johnson's ability.
They like him, and him and Justin have a great relationship.
I think he's a great player. I just think he's just not hitting his stride like everybody thought he would right out of the box. But I'm not worried about that kid. He will play. I like the Strange pick. I like the Ford pick down there at that value. He's probably going to start at this point. The Jones and Milroe, the Jones is definitely handcuffing Richardson, which is great. The Milroe pick could show up mid-season come playoff time. Darnold gets hurt. That's a great, great pick. I'm in love with Milroe. The Lloyd thing, I could care less about Lloyd, and even at a backup for there, I don't have any faith in that kid.
All right, guys. So we're at an hour mark right now. We have 2 more rounds of the draft left. Everybody's picking their sleepers now. We're actually ahead of schedule. Well, Sarah, do you have a hard out right now?
No, let's finish this out. We're almost done.
Okay. Well, the wifey says hello to you guys.
Fran, we love you too. Oh, he said hi.
We'll go over here to Todd Barber. I'll give a quick breakdown. We all know Todd Barber knows how to draft. He's one of our regulars. He's one of our strongest drafters. He's one of those guys when he joins the draft, everybody goes, "Oh crap, he's going to take all my guys." Has a habit of doing it. He's got Jalen Daniels and Baker Mayfield, who are 2 top-tier quarterbacks. I think Baker was like QB5 last year with our scoring, and we know Daniels where he finished. Sam Darnold, another starting quarterback, has his 3, so he looks like he's going to have 3 to start off. Bucky Irving and Chuba Hubbard. I like Chuba. I don't think anybody in that back room is going to give him any kind of competition. I think he's going to carry the workload. Joe Mixon in the 9th round. That could be the pick of the draft if he's healthy. J.K. Dobbins, who we just talked about, going after those other running backs. I think he should have been in front of all 4 that went before him. He's got A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin to stack with Daniels, assuming he's still going to be
assuming he's still there.
We know what Jameson Williams can do. Is one of Jimmy's favorite picks he had mentioned. Joshua Palmer, I think he's kind of thin at receiver. I think McMillan's a good value. He's somebody that's getting discounted. But if Godwin's isn't right and Evans shows any kind of decline, he's somebody that's been killing it in camp. And I want to see more of what he has to offer, especially since I have quite a few dynasty shares of him. Mark Andrews, great value at tight end. I haven't got any updates on Likely's health, but just another overall strong build from Todd Barber. Kareem Hunt's going to have a role. Zach Ertz is going to have a role. Jatavion Sanders, I heard that dude's ripped. And Sean Tucker, another name that keeps coming up when they're talking about the Tampa backfield, and we know Rashad White just got hurt. So pretty good overall.
Man, that is a solid team. There's only one pick on that whole roster that I think that TB might have made better with, and that's passing on Hunt and taking somebody else. With Elijah Mitchell there now, Hunt's going to be an afterthought.
I totally disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think Hunt is still there till he's done.
Way better running back than Hunt. and is definitely the number 2. And if Pacheco coughs, Mitchell will be there.
I'm on that one.
But I
I
love
would have
that.
said the Josh Palmer pick I don't like, because I would have taken Keon Coleman. I think his upside's better. I might have taken Scatterboo for the second half of the. Well, he's probably going to miss a week or two, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean,
He's listening to Sean too much with that Josh Palmer pick.
He's stacked. He's actually TV stacked the 2 best guys, receivers, or his receiving core. He's got Ertz and McLaurin. Nice stack work there.
Nice.
So,
Sarah, go ahead and take us down your team real quick. I'm going to go ahead and post our
my
our
team. You want me to analyze my team?
Oh yeah.
I need you guys to tell me how amazing my team is.
Okay, go for it, Jimmy. Jimmy, go ahead and do her team. I'm gonna pull up the power rankings based off.
Scroll up to the first pick though. You're missing Jay Daniels in there.
There we go.
All right, so
we
got Henry. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love. Oh, you even got your boy. We got McCann. I love the Ingram pick, and I'm getting higher and higher on this young kid. I had a lot of stock in Young for a long, long time, and I think it's going to finally pay off for me this year. The Stevenson thing, I don't know. Whoa, do you got Henderson up there somewhere? Because if not, then that's a waste.
I do not, unfortunately, but this is my 4th running back, Jimmy. He's my number 4.
I get it, but there's other fourth running backs. I'm saying
I wasn't gonna. You know what? I didn't realize that Najee was still on the board. Otherwise, it would have been. Wait, no, he wasn't yet. No, he wasn't there yet. No, he was up already. There was nobody else. There was nobody else there that I wanted as a number 4. Because I think he's going to get a nice timeshare with Hendo for this 1 year. It's a redraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, the good thing about it is that it's only going to be Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson.
Love Doodle.
Exactly.
I love Taylor.
Exactly.
That's a solid team, Sarah.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, that's a solid. What's that last tight end down there?
Juwan Johnson. But then I also took my
Gadsden. No, I love this team. Yeah, I love this.
I like the Taj Brooks select too. I think that's a sneaky pick. I think he's going to be the second running back behind Chase Brown, and we know Chase Brown is a undersized back there.
Hey, Zach Moss is gone, so
Scott calls Perrine oatmeal pants or something.
Oatmeal pants. Yeah, what's up, Scott?
I think that we have an audio on that, don't we? No, maybe not.
Oh no,
we just have nice. This one.
If you're watching the YouTube, we do have a short, and it's Scott when he's talking about AJ Dillon and he's talking about oatmeal pants, and he goes, he says, yeah, another guy on the IR, AJ Dillon, thank God. And the crew reacts to him saying thank God, and it's pretty hilarious. We got 3 more teams. Sarah, you want to break down Mr. Claybo here?
Yeah, let's look at Clay's. Obviously, Josh Allen at 1-3 is the biggest steal of the first round, other than my Lamar pick right afterwards. So that's amazing. I love Brian Thomas. I love McBride. I actually think Kay Walker is going to have a fine year if he stays healthy. Again, I don't like having a rookie running back as my RB2, especially because I think Dobbins is going to run that backfield this year anyway. I do think Harvey's going to get his taste in it, but I'm certainly not going to, he's not going to be my starting. Love Stroud. He's been dropping a lot, and I think he deserves to be higher. And then all of a sudden he just went on this run. Pickens, Debo, Diggs. I love them all. I love all those picks.
Really? Godwin, Ayuk.
Yeah, Godwin, Ayuk. I mean, just a beautiful run on wide receivers. But I think he's really weak in running back all around. I mean, obviously, Garendo, does great as a backup. I don't know if Wright's going to do it. I have an unpopular opinion about him. I think Ollie Gordon's going to take over that second spot and take the Mostert position. So I think his wide receiver game is on point. His QB game is on point, and I think he's pretty weak in the running backs all the way down.
It seems like he recognized that though, because he finished out taking what is this, 7
a bunch of backups,
9 or running back hopefuls. Kendry Miller, maybe if he's healthy. I mean, he's got.
I don't know, man. Hey, I'm not high on any of those guys though to be starters at any point.
No. I think they're nothing more than flex plays. I think if Walker or Harvey, and Walker's prone to injury, if one of those go down, he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
I think he has a better chance to have some of his receivers hit during the season, and he'll be able to make some moves.
If I was to guess, that guy does a lot of dynasty drafting. Just by looking at his draft, of course, you got the color coding that Jimbo's used to do old school. Where I think he made some mistakes is the Godwin pick, the Ayuk pick in a redraft, with both of them probably not even playing until week 4, 5, or 6. I think he could have capitalized, given away them 2 picks and taken 2 better running backs in those 2 picks than what he ended up with picking below there, where he got that running back run. I think he could have got 2 better valued running backs and gave up on the Godwin pick.
Yeah.
And
Let's see if you can make some trades.
Yeah, right there, them 2
See,
picks.
that Godwin pick could have been Najee Harris, and that would have looked a lot better, right?
Saying.
Right.
So in a redraft,
Right.
in a redraft, when we know those 2 wide receivers are probably not going to see the field for 3 or 4 games in the beginning of the season, I think he could have upped his value with a better running back pick. Those 2 picks should have been running backs versus going on this running back run. He went down.
Personally, I would have preferred him take the Joe Mixon instead of Stephon Diggs. I think that would have been a lot more powerful of a move. Mixon, I think that's the value of the draft right there. The more I look at it, going amongst these players,
Mixon, yeah, that's a huge value.
I mean, wow. So we have 2 more to go. We'll breeze through these, and then we're going to show you the power rankings real quick, and then we'll give you one last peek at our lineup. Today's Thursday during the season, week 1 before kickoff. We're going to be live here doing the Ballsville update. We're going to let you know how our redraft and our overall draft season went, what's going on in the leagues. We're going to highlight new players. We'll go over some of the accounts that we have, where our cash documents end. Our balance for the year, our expenses, stuff like that. It's going to be everything Ballsville right before the season, all the technical behind the scenes stuff. And then during the season, we'll be here every Thursday and we'll let you know, outstanding scores for the week, clutch matchups. We'll highlight the playoff race. It's going to be a lot of fun on Thursdays. We'll keep it a little social, but for the most part, it's going to be a lot of quick information for you. That way you know what's going on throughout the games, and you can kind of highlight the competition and stuff.
Gonna be rocking.
This is our friend that took the 3 tight ends. I think he really he did a pretty good job of recovering. Jamar Chase is his anchor wide receiver. Without that, it would be pretty drab. Brock Bowers at the 2, that's a pretty good spot to take him. I've seen him go into the 3rd, but not really past the middle of the 3rd. So I think you got him at proper value there. So anytime you take McBride or Bowers, you're going to have to recover and have a pretty solid draft. Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, James Cook, great RBs. James Cook, I think, is somebody that should be moving up around now that he has a contract security. I'd rather have him than Ken Walker. I don't think that's a hot take at all. Laporta and Kelsey are what really hurt him. You can see all the people in the 5th and 6th rounds that he could have, 6th and 7th, that he could have been targeting. Jordan Addison as his wide receiver 2. He's not going to be playing the first 3 games, but once he gets back, that's a pretty solid wide receiver 2, considering the fact that he has 3 tight ends that he can flex in. Cam Ward and Geno, serviceable starters. They really don't have a threat behind them. So they're pretty long term. They might not be the top tier or maybe even the 2nd tier of quarterbacks, but they can produce every so often. And no 3rd quarterback is pretty astounding. Khalil Shakir as his wide receiver 3, that's a pretty safe play. He's got Scatterboo, little risky, but he's got the running backs to back it up. Burden, Sampson, Chubb, Thielen, Arroyo, Noel, Michael Wilson, Calvin Austin, Noah Gray. I think those are all low floor players. Even if they hit, I'm not sure anybody there is going to, tear the roof off of anything. Maybe we're wrong about Mixon, and Chubb is the guy that's going to carry the workload, but I find it doubtful. I don't think it's the strongest team, but a lot can happen, and I think he recovered nicely having 3 tight ends, so hopefully he can sell them.
I think the only mistake he made was a Kelsey and Addison pick. I'm okay with even if, let's look at the quarterbacks that went, okay, after Kelsey and after Addison, I'd have much rather had all three of those quarterbacks. I think it's three.
Tua, Stafford.
Two of them, Stafford and Tua.
So he could have had McCarthy over Laporta. And then after Kelsey, he could have had Stafford or Tua.
Yeah, I would have definitely wanted the Stafford and the Tua before Addison. And, wait, he couldn't have got them, right? Okay, so I was trying to see. He could have had them before the Kelsey pick is what I'm saying. So
yeah, he would have taken Kelsey as one.
That, to me, the only mistake of making this a really strong team was the Kelsey and Addison picks. Those two picks kind of cost him, I believe. But he could have been a lot stronger. Even if you were to come back, I would have took Pollard over Kelsey. I'd have took any of those 4 receivers over Kelsey, 5 receivers, 6 receivers.
I like the value he got on Laporta, and even Kelsey could pay off at that cost. I think in hindsight, if he knew he was going to get those valuable tight ends later on, I think the Bowers pick could have been something a little more high end. Maybe that was a Bo Nix or something that could have helped his roster.
But all having Bowers and Laporta, Alex, okay, that whole round from Kelsey all the way to the end, other than a doomsday, I'd have probably took every single one of those players before Kelsey.
So Sarah had to go make dinner. Thanks for joining us, Sarah. That's our producer. She's going to be on with Jimbo on Tuesdays for Live on the Waiver Wire. You guys make sure you're tuned in for that. Jimmy, go ahead and take us down the last roster, and then we'll show the power rankings, and then we'll recap the schedule, and we'll get out of here.
All right. So like we like to say here at Ballsville, you got to have balls to play here. That was a Ballsville pick right there. I get it. If I had multiple leagues, I'd be taking the Robinson pick there too. I'm not afraid of anything he's done here so far. What I'm seeing, I like the Henderson pick. I like the Hawkinson pick. He also stacked it with McCarthy, which is the whole reason. Look at this. He scores on the Judkins maybe. Olave, I'm scared of Olave just for the simple fact of the concussion program. The dude just cannot stay on a football field. And to be on my team, you got to be able to stay on a football field. I like the guy, but just can't be trusted. Kincaid, I think, picks it up this year versus last year. I'm not afraid of Najee. That's a good pick. The Williams pick is yet to be decided. We'll see. A lot of people high on him. I don't know that much about him. Didn't have him in any of my DB leagues, so I don't know. I am not afraid of Freiermuth, even with Smith being their good pick. The Tillman pick, I'm high on Tillman's. I don't know anything about that kid there, the Smith running back.
Rashard Smith.
Like him. But with that running back core at Kansas City, I don't see putting that kid on my team in a redraft. Sanders, I'm all for that. I think all this hype, I think Sanders plays way sooner than most think he's going to. The Pierce, I'm high on Pierce. Pierce has got good, solid numbers. He's reliable. Mitchell, I know, Alex, you like this kid. I don't. I had all kinds of stock in this guy and never seen the football field. It's cost me just a spot on my roster. I've dropped him more times than not.
I don't know where you got that from because I've never really been high on Mitchell.
No, it wasn't you? Didn't
you
say something about – oh, no. Who? Last night. Oh, it was Dennis. Dennis talking high on this kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I retract my statement. It's just I heard it last night or this morning on the pod. I was listening to the Wednesday night pod this morning on my way to work, and Dennis was the one saying he's high on Mitchell. I'm not. Yes. I've got so much stock in him, just unproven, didn't do nothing. Mitchell, that's a dart throw for a backup to Pierce, which is fine. And the Lane kid is a great pick. We'll see. Not even if they get their contract all done with McLaurin, this Lane kid is still going to have a spot on the roster. He's not going anywhere. Does he start? I doubt it. Does he play? Yes. Noah Brown can't stay healthy. This kid's going to play. He's definitely going to be on kick return, punt return. He's going to play special teams. I think he ends up getting a lot of snaps at wide receiver throughout the year.
Yeah, so I like his draft up until the last 4 picks. I think if you're picking the wide receiver 3 and the wide receiver 4, and the pass catcher 4 and 5 because Tyler Warren's going to get his. And you have these quarterbacks, Jones and Richardson throwing you the ball. I think those are wasted picks. I hear a lot of good things about Adonai Mitchell. I think he has a good talent, skill set. If he can get a quarterback that can get on the ball.
Yeah.
As far as these last 4 rounds, like I do like Taj Brooks. I do like Marshawn Lloyd. I think the running back 2, we saw the workload that Josh Jacobs got. I think that's a good pick. I think Tyler Lockett's being discounted. I like him for the first few games until his wheels start to fall off. I do like the Terrace Ferguson pick because I think there's an open competition for tight end over there in LA. Deontay Johnson, I think, could be undervalued. Jordan James is hurt. Otherwise, he would have been on my sleepers list. Jarquez Hunter, somebody that's fallen down to the bottom of draft boards. People were high on him earlier. And last one for me is A.J. Barner, somebody that I'm taking with the last pick in a lot of drafts. They got rid of Noah Fant there, and I think they have a Royal as competition. But A.J. Barner put up a couple of double-digit games to end last year.
Everybody's high on the Arroyo pick. I like the kid. He's a good kid. He's a good tight end. However, coming off the injury, I don't think they're going to push him right into it. I think they're going to take their time with him overall. Yeah, down the road, a year, 2 years from now, maybe he'll be the starter. Barner's got that job. Arroyo's there. I don't think they rush him in after coming off the injuries.
So our value chart is going to get cut off, but it likes Griff Ellis's draft the best, even though it has a massive – look at that value at tight end. Kicking him over everybody. That orange bar right there is a tight end. That's our guy that
like
took
old Jimbo's draft.
Yeah. So number 2 on this one for Dynasty Daddy. This is contender rankings. Sarah is number 2, followed by Bryson Klein, Todd Barber, Marco, Omar, Clay, Mahomes, Crimson, Robert, Galvin, and we get cut off. And then sorry for Cousin uses a different one. He has Todd Barber at number 1, Sarah at number 2. So both of the sites like her for number 2. Bryson was high on the other one. Omar,
that guy at number 4 there, that Omar Billy, he's
yes.
He plays a lot of leagues with Scott outside of Ballsville, and that guy, from what I hear, he is a guru at redrafts. That guy.
Well, honestly, I've been keeping an eye on him because when he came in, I think somebody gave him a little flack, and he handled it well. And I thought it was pretty cool to see somebody show maturity.
Shark, right? I'm hearing inside information. He's a shark. He's a good redrafter.
Oh, well, glad to have you. There's nothing but competition. If you're new to Ballsville, guys, we've been drafting since the Super Bowl. We start with the mini leagues. We have way too early best ball that keeps us busy all the way up until April. And then as soon as we have the NFL draft, we go from the mini leagues. We seal that off because new information is out there. And right after the NFL draft, we open up the big game, which is more best ball. We filled 96 leagues of that. During that process, we have the triathlon game, which is our custom game. All this is on the website. You can go check it out. Very unique, very cool. And then we have the redraft game. And at the beginning of the year, we have Dynasty Open. We doubled from 16 to 32 leagues. That was pretty cool. So before we get out of here, we have one more thing to show you. Jimmy, you got anything before we leave?
No, I just want to put a shout out to the remaining podcasts for the week. Not really sure the schedules, but we got Guillotine, I think, and Dynastyville.
Here it is right here.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, we at Ballsville, Alex has gone out and is trying to meet the needs. Everybody's asking, everybody wants. We're giving you guys variety. You name it, we got it. We're out here to talk about it. We're out here to bring you on to talk about it. Get involved in our media groups, guys, because as time goes on, we're going to be doing a lot of different events. We're talking about the Fantasy Expo next year. We want to start getting you guys involved. We want to, start having experiences with our players and share all of this together and become, a big fantasy football group that not only has fun playing our leagues, but playing and having fun outside our leagues.
Amen to that. We're coming up on 90 minutes, but like Jimmy said, here's our schedule. We have 5 podcasts to bring you throughout the week. You're going to find them a little scattered before the season begins because we're fine-tuning our schedule. But every Monday, you're going to have the Chopping Block, which is a guillotine pod run by Sean and Connor. They have great takes, and they kind of tell you how to evaluate your fab and trading in the guillotine, which is invaluable information. There's not a lot of guillotine pods, and those guys know what they're talking about. Tuesdays, we have Live on the Waiver Wire. That's Jimmy's show. It's a blast. Wednesdays, we have Sean and Scott's Happy Hour. You can catch last night's episode. Ballsville Update, that's going to be me on Thursdays. It's going to be more of a quick information. Here's everything that's going on, and then we'll take a little Q&A and stuff. And then I have Dynastyville slotted in on Fridays. They're going to be doing numerous shows throughout the week before the season. But those guys are killing it. Go check out Dynastyville episodes. They dive deep into our Dynasty leagues, the Dragons and the Heroes. Those leagues correspond. So League 1 is Shenron for the Dragons and Goku for the Heroes, part of the Dragon Ball Z saga. Again, you can check all this stuff out on the site, but tune into those guys to see some real synergy. Those guys, they know what they're doing. They work good together, great visuals, real well built. And for us, we had fun tonight. This was one of the smoother fast drafts. Thanks, Jimmy, for being on. I know you had a hard day, and thanks to Sarah, who has a lot going on and made time to come in and join us and bring you what's going on here. Go back into the league and check it out. These guys are calling for another fast draft for tonight because there's a lot of interest. So.
They love our online fast drafts, and that's a good thing, guys, because it might be that thing that we all, we tweak something. We love your guys' input. Don't be afraid to speak up, speak out. We take it all into effect. We talk about it on the phone. We talk about it in the off season, and we build this. Alex is open to tweaking things, and if the fast drafts turn out, maybe all our redrafts will become all fast drafts next year. Who knows? Maybe, we'll do all fast drafts, half online, half off. You just don't know.
It's time to blitz the fast drafts because we're getting right hugged up to the start of the season. So we'll see you guys in the hubs and in the Discord. Don't forget to check them messages.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night, guys. One more shot at what you're playing for.
Look at that girl. Look at that girl.